are the pros and cons to doing, and I know this is probably Jay's realm, but just from your perspective, like, in-home versus salon, and then, what are your thoughts? Because it really is a toxic category.
I know. It's
unfortunately.
Yes, very unfortunately. And that's another big reason of why we exist. So around the time that I was doing this research of what causes gray and, what are the options for gray, my dad, who's a doctor and he oversees clinical studies, mostly cancer studies, he came across this article from the NIH in 2019 linking increased risk of cancer with at-home hair dye use. And the reason at-home is sort of the worst of the two options is because they have to create this developer. The developer is really the issue with hair dye. And to create a developer that's strong enough to get, my hair a certain color, a blonde person's hair a certain color, everybody's hair color, this certain color on the box, you have to have a very strong developer. And then on top of that, you're in a closed area, you're in a small bathroom. You potentially are getting it on your hands. If you don't use the gloves, you're putting it all over your scalp. You're probably leaving it on for too long. There's so many factors that
the scalp's interesting because even when she was doing it, she wasn't getting it on the scalp.
Great.
Whereas for henna, I was like, getting it all in there. So
it's terrible. So if you can, so the reason, Jay is like, people need to just be educated on this and understand why it's so much more expensive, but potentially healthier with a hairstylist is they can do precision also. So it's not covering every single strand of your hair. It actually is oxidative stress. So if you dye your hair, you're going to get more gray hair from dyeing those hairs around it that don't need to be dyed. And they can do it so it doesn't do the scalp. You can use the foils even to protect your scalp from not getting the hair color. And then it's this developer. They can more precisely get a less strong developer in there and create the color. So again, we're not here to like vilify the hair dye industry. We're not saying don't ever dye your hair. It's like people need to have choices and they need to feel informed and educated and make educated decisions.